Hey everybody, it's me Dana, and guess what? It's tutorial time. That's right guys, there's another tutorial here for you guys. So the last time we met, I was doing a tutorial about granny squares. So far you should have the basic granny square down. Now if you don't have that one, go grab it up. I'll leave the link down in the description box down below so you know exactly how to do that granny square. Today's granny square we're going to be doing is a solid granny square because I'm going to put all these granny squares together for one awesome project. Now if you don't want to use this for a project, you can just use these same granny squares for any ideas that you may come about yourself. So I'm going to be putting these together for a 3-part series to create a project. So this is video 2. We're going to be assembling some granny squares. So for video 1 we did a basic granny square, and for video 2 we're going to be doing a solid granny square. So for this tutorial you're going to be needing your different types of yarn. Now for this project I'm using a cotton yarn, but you don't have to use a cotton yarn. In my original video I did do a Premier Home cotton, but this one I'm going to be using Lily Sugar and Cream. Alright guys, and this is going to be the color of Overcast. Alright guys, so this is color Overcast. I do have an eye hook which is 5.5 millimeter, and this is a customized hook that my husband created the handle for. You're also going to be needing the nice little yarn needle. Now you don't have to have plastic, you can use metal, whatever you have on hand, and you're going to need something to snip those ends. So I have my shears with me. Thanks Mama Yvonne for these, I love them a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and get started guys. Let's go ahead and break open this package. Now the fun thing about these granny squares that are solid guys, they are not you know, they have less holes, as many people say. There's spaces in between. There's no spaces at all. Well, maybe there's a little bit of something, not too much compared to a normal or original granny square. So a lot of times people can use these because they are really great if you're putting multiples together, and you can you know, put them together and you really can see the picture really well with a solid granny square compared to a you know, the original granny square. But the thing about this solid granny square takes a little bit more yarn and a little more time. So either way, I like them both. This is going to be working for our base of our bag. Okay, so that's what we're doing with these granny squares. So on the next tutorial you'll see we're going to be putting this baby together. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. For this awesome granny square guys, we're going to go ahead and chain 5. All right, now depending on whatever yarn you have, that's whatever hook size you have. Okay, so just use whatever you have. I'm going to zoom in real quick so we can make sure we can see what we're doing, because I do like a nice zoom. Hope you guys don't mind. Okay, all right, there we go. And I hope you guys are subscribed to this channel. Please hit the thumbs up and the notification bell so you know exactly what we're doing over here. Right now I'm going to go ahead and chain 5. Okay, so I just yarned over and I slip stitched. So this is not going to be my chain, this is just going to be my slip stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and chain 5. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm just going to go ahead and join. All right. So I'm going to join to form a ring. All right. If I can get it in there, guys. All right. Let me go ahead and join to that first chain. And I'm going to slip stitch, which is just yarning over and pulling through both of those loops. All right. Really, really simple, guys. That's all. We're making a ring. Okay. So I'm just going to pull some yarn. I have to make sure at all times I keep plenty of yarn handy, so that way I don't have to worry about not having enough and, you know, all that good stuff. You always want to make sure you pull plenty of yarn. All right, guys. So now we're just going to go ahead and chain 3. All right. We're going to continue going. Chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do 3 doubles into the ring. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. Now this chain 3 is going to act as your first stitch. All right. So we're going to do 3 more in that same exact ring. We're going to go right inside of there. You notice that ring that we created? We're going to go inside of there. All right. And I like to work over my tail until I'm ready to snip it off. So let's do 3 double crochets. Now, if you don't know how to do a double crochet, I have an awesome video on how to do that. Okay. So I hope you guys have checked out that awesome video on how to do a double crochet. All right. Let's go ahead and do 3 of them inside of this ring. Okay. So we got 1, we have 2, and we have 3. All right, guys. There we go. We are whipping this up. Now we're going to go ahead and chain 2. All right. This is going to help us with our corner building. We're building corners. Now we're going to do it again. We're going to do 4 doubles, okay? We're going to do 4 doubles. That's 2. Now we're going to be doing 3. And now we're going to do 4. All right. And now we're going to do 1 and 2. So we're just going to continue with this, guys, until we have 4 of these chained 4 clusters, okay? And we should have 4 chained 2 spaces. So we're chaining another 2. And now we're going to go ahead and do another 4, okay? 4 double crochets. It's not too bad, guys. So we're just going to continue going. We did 2 so far. This is 3. This is 4. All right, so we got, now look, it's starting to look like a square. You notice that, guys? Now let's go ahead and do another chain of 2. And now let's go ahead and work in this in our ring again, okay? Let's work in that ring, and let's do another 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, guys. Look at that. Loving it. So now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and chain 2 again. All right. And so now we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to that very top of our chain 3 that we did in the beginning. All right. Let's slip stitch in there. So this is going to be the beginning of our first square. This is how it's going to begin, okay? This is our first round of our square, okay? Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to slip stitch across until we get into our chain 2 space, okay? So let's go ahead and slip stitch. So that's going to be inserting our hook, just like so, and slip stitching, just like that. So we'll insert our hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through both loops, all right? And so our goal is to get over here to this corner. So we'll do it again, insert our hook, yarn over, and draw through both of those loops, guys. Exactly, look at that. And we're going to continue doing that until we get to this corner. So let's do it again. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, and draw through. There we go. So now we made it to the corner, and it's a nice clean finish, and we just want to begin working in our corners, okay? So what we're going to do is chain 3, all right? 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to double crochet into this corner, okay? So that first chain 3, it acted as a stitch, okay? So we have that there. And now we're going to go ahead and chain 2. And now we're going to do 2 doubles in this corner, all right? So this is how we're going to be doing our corners, okay? So we'll do 2 doubles, chain 2, and then 2 doubles. That is what our corner is going to look like, okay? That's what our corner is going to look like. It's a little different than what we were doing with the original granny square. So now, after we do this, we're going to double crochet in each stitch until we get to the corner again. All right, so let's go ahead and go into each of these stitches. There should be 4, okay? Remember, we did 4 here, so we should go have 4 here now. 1, yarning over. Remember, for a double, you're going to yarn over. You're going to insert your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, and draw through the last 2. That's how a double is done, okay? So just continue doing that until you have your 4 double. You go into all the 4 double crochets across that row. And then we're going to work in our corner again. All right? It's really not that hard, guys. Once you get it down. And remember, you always can pause. I'm going to just grab a little more yarn. You always can pause, guys. You don't have to, if you need to rewind, if you need to slow down the speed of the video, guys, feel free to do that, okay? So you get it. Crochet, remember, crochet is meant to be relaxing. So you want to make sure you're relaxed when you're doing this, okay? Make sure you have some peace and some relaxation in the house while you're doing it. All right, guys, so we should have our corner done. We got our corner done, and then we should have our 4 stitches here. All right? So that means we should have 2 here, counting our first chain 3. And then we should have another 2 that's in that same corner, making 4. And then we should have 4 going across, making a total of 8 stitches. Now that we have that, we should be working in our corner again. And you know what we do in a corner, right? Yes, we're going to do 2 double crochets, which is 1 now. And let's do our second. That is 2 now. And we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And then we're going to do 2 more, all right? Let's do that, guys. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to do 2. That's how we're going to be doing all of our corners, all right? And like I said, guys, it's not hard at all. Look at that, all right? Now we're going to go ahead and work in those 4 across. Okay? Working those 4 across. All the way around, guys. It's really, really simple. And we want to make sure we do whatever we're doing. If we're doing this bag, if we're going to come back and do this bag with me, remember we did our first square. I'm going to show it to you. If you were following along with that first one, you might have threw it away or threw it aside like I did. And you were following me just like I did. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows. We did 10 rows and then we did a border around. So that's how yours should look. We're going to do 10 rows of this and we'll do a border around. Now, if you don't want to do a solid color, you don't have to. I decided to do just one solid color for my base of my bag. Now, you can do multiple colors. You can keep it the same exact way. You choose it, okay? After this bag, we're going to work on another one. So let's finish up this bag, this tutorial. I'll do the last tutorial after this, and you'll have a bag you can assemble on your own and have a ball with. And you can give it away. I know a lot of people are doing some gift giving at this time or anytime. It's always great for doing gifts. And so we'll work on this, and then I'll show you another tutorial. We'll do another project. So let's keep going with our tutorial. Again, we're just working around, and it's really, really simple, and it's going to begin to increase. We're going to notice our square beginning to get larger and larger. So now we're just going to do our same corners, right? Just 2 double crochets, a chain of 2, and 2 double crochets. This is really fun. I'm loving it, and I hope you guys are too. Okay. Now we're going to continue going. We should have 4 next. If you have to slide your stitches back a little bit, slide them back, kind of get them out of the way. And we're going to continue going across those 4 chains of that row. All right. I'm loving it. I hope this is looking good to you guys. Hope you can see it well. And I'm sorry if I'm going a little too fast. Please forgive me. Just trying to make sure I have enough yarn. All right, so we have our 4 done. And now we're going to be back right in our corner again. So we're going to do a double crochet. 1, 2, and 1, 2. And now we're going to do, now we'll do 2 more. 1 and 2. All right. And now we're just going to go ahead and go around in the 4 that we had, okay? And remember, we're going to count that chain 3 as a stitch. All right, so we're going to be working in that chain 3, guys, okay? We're going to work across those stitches that we slip stitch. See those slip stitches? We'll work across those to make it a lot easier, okay? If I can get in there. Sorry about that, guys. I guess I was a little snug with my tension. So we have 1. And I'm going to go into this slip stitch. If I can get it open, there we go. That's 2. And I'm going to do a 3rd. Okay. Come on. There we go. I'm going to make sure I count. 1 more to go, guys. 1 more to go. I can yarn over. And I will insert. Yarn over. Pull through 1. Yarn over. Pull through 2. Yarn over. Pull through 2. All right, guys. And now we're going to join it to our first top of our double crochet, which is that chain 3. So we're going to top join it with a slip stitch, inserting our hook, yarning over, and pulling through, guys. All right, there we go. So now we have our square. Look how it's beginning to look. Notice that it's solid compared to the basic granny square. Okay, if you do your traditional granny square, you're noticing lots of spaces, which there's no problem with, all right? There's no problem. This is just what a granny squares always look like. They're very simple to work with. You can make them extremely large to make blankets. A lot of times when you begin to get advanced, you can even crochet by feeling and not even having to look. It's really that simple. I like to teach these with my classes. When I start doing my beginner crochet classes, I teach the granny square for the beginning. So I have this. I'm going to set it aside, and we're going to look at this and begin to keep going. And you're going to notice how it increases, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch until we get into this space, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into our next stitch. We always like to slip stitch until we get into our corner. That's what I always like to do. I like to slip stitch until I get into my corner. So I'll slip stitch here. And then I'll slip stitch into the corner. All right. And then I will chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do our corner now. Okay, guys? So we're going to do another double. Then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And then we're going to yarn over and do a couple more doubles. All right? Just that simple. I'm telling you guys, it's that simple. Look at that. Yarn over and insert. Look at that. So we have our corner again. And now our old corner has become stitches. All right? So these stitches used to be our corner. And now they're the actual stitches. So if you have to slide back a little bit, slide it back to make sure you have your stitches. So now we don't have 4 anymore. We've increased. We should actually have 8. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, guys. So we should always increase by 4. All right. So we should be gaining 2 on this corner end, and then we'll gain 2 on that end. So each time, to know that you're doing it right, you should be increasing by 4 of each row. So when we come back around again, we should have 12 stitches here, okay? Instead of 8, we should have 12. So we'll keep continuing the same exact thing until we have the desired rows that you want. Now again, I'm going to be doing 10 rows, and I'll do a border because I'm doing a bag and I want it to be a certain amount of rows. And I want them all to be even. So if you're doing the bag with me, which is going to require 2 basic granny squares, and you're going to need 1 basic, you're going to need 1 full granny square, 1 solid one, okay? So you're going to need one solid of how many rows that you desire, whatever yarn, whatever colors, whatever hook. And you're going to need 2 of this type of granny square. I have tutorials for both. I have a playlist with all my tutorials in it, guys. Please check it out. And so you're going to need that. So we're going to do this for 10 rows because I have my 2 that I've done already in 10 rows. So I'm just going to continue going around, guys, doing that same exact thing, just double crocheting. That's the only stitch we're going to be using for this, okay? Yarning over, inserting into the stitch, yarning over, pulling through 1, yarning over, drawing through 2, yarning over, drawing through 2. All right, and that's all the way down. And we're going to continue doing that same exact thing. And you know, in our corners, all we're going to do is do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets, all in that same exact space, guys. All right, so let's continue doing that. Very, very simple, guys. Very simple pattern. It just, like I said, you don't have as many spaces. Use a little bit more yarn. But I do like this too. I do like the fact that it's solid. And I like to have this at the bottom of my bag. So that way I don't have to worry about anything falling through or anything like that. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do it like this. It's 1, that's 2. That's 2 chains. And then we'll do another 2 in that space. All right. That's our corner. And so now we're going to go ahead and continue going. Sorry about that. Let's continue going around. Okay. So that way we'll continue. Now, again, I'm going to have to slide this down a little bit. So that way I can work into my stitches. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a double crochet all the way around. Okay. All the way around, guys. And let's continue to go. Again, like I said, I'm going to be doing 10 rows. Now, I don't know how many rows you guys are going to do, because some of you may do more, or some of you may make smaller bags. Okay? Depending on, you know, depending on how big you want it to be. If you want it to be a project bag, if you want it to be like a cute purse to take with you around on the go, if you're making it for a child, depends on you. You want to be more kind of like a handbag. You want to be something that you can wear with a longer strap over the shoulder. You name it, guys. You can make it whatever you want, whatever those creative juices desire. I love to do that, guys. It's so many different things with crochet. You know, the designs are endless. You can just have a ball. So I'm just going to go right here in this space, and we're going to do 2 doubles. Every time we get to the corner, guys, we do 2 doubles. Now I've done my 2 in my corner, and now I'm just going to chain 2 and do another 2 in the same exact corner. And going in again, okay? So we're just going to continue going, and each stitch, remember, there should be 8 stitches now, okay? They should always increase by 4. Each row should increase by 4 with this pattern. All right, every time you make a new row, you should have 4 new stitches. So when we come back around, we should have 12, okay? To make sure we're doing it right, it should be 12 stitches. Okay? So remember, you can do this in any size. These are really nice to do. You can make multiples and make a blanket and connect them. It's really, really nice. I'm in corners again, so we'll do 2 double crochets. We'll do chain 2, And then we'll do 2 double crochets in that corner, all right? And now we're going to go ahead and slide it down and do our double crochets across the row. Okay, and there should be 8. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. All right. I'm just going to keep going. I have to get a little knot out of my yarn. And just keep going down. All right, and then we're going to end up joining with a slip stitch, okay? And now you're going to join with a slip stitch, guys. All right, so that's how you're going to do your solid granny square, all right? So go ahead and continue doing that. I'll be back when I finish mine, and I'll show you exactly how I finished it, and we'll do a border around it, okay? So keep going, guys, and I'll be back when we finish our 10 rows. Alrighty, guys, so we're back and we have our rows finished. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our border on them, all right? So one word of wisdom, wise advice, is to make sure you use the same type of yarn for each square and the same size hook, okay? So do that and let's get started. So we should have 2 of these for our bag if you're doing the bag. So have 2 of these ready, and then we're gonna have this. Now if you're just learning how to do your basic solid square, that's gonna be awesome. So far so good. And if you want to finish up here, finish up whatever rows. You don't have to put a border around it, whatever else, because you may just want to connect them, however. So you really don't have to put a border around it, guys. I'm just going to put a border around it so that way it can match up with the rest of my squares. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to go ahead and slide this down like so. And I'm going to grab this here. See that? I'm going to grab this just like so. And I'm going to grab my green yarn. I decided to grab some of my lime green that I used for my other 2 squares. This is the Premier cotton yarn, Premier Home. So now I'm going to go ahead and go around here and doing the same exact thing, guys. It's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to single crochet around this whole square, and in every one of my corners I'm going to put 3 singles in each corner. That's all I'm doing. So it's going to be really, really simple. So we have this like so, and now I'm going to go ahead and snip. I'm going to go ahead and snip my yarn, and I'm going to go ahead and attach it and tie it. Now many of you may have ways to attach your yarn. Now this is the way I do it, guys. I kind of do the tie way. Eventually, guys, I will be getting into different ways of, you know, sewing, attaching your yarn. I'm going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through, all right? Here we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 and do a single in that same exact stitch. If you want to crochet over your tails, you can do that. It's really up to you, okay? And just keep going all the way around. And continue single crocheting all the way around. All right, guys, that's all we're doing. We're just doing a nice single crochet border. Again, you do not have to do this. I'm just doing it because it's going to go along with the next part of this pattern if you're interested in doing a bag. But again, many of you may not even be using cotton. You may even be using an acrylic or wool. You may be making a bag, a top. You may be making a blanket with these squares. Again, a single crochet is inserting in your stitch, yarning over, pulling through, yarning over, and pulling through 2 loops. That is your single crochet. Many of you have already checked out my single crochet video. Thank you so much for doing that, guys. You are amazing. And we're just going to continue going around. All right? Very simple. I'm sorry for going fast, guys. We're just going to finish this up because the next tutorial I hope you get to watch, because we're going to do some things with granny squares. Okay? We're going to do some goodies with granny squares. All right? So just single crochet around. I'm excited. And we're going to put these babies together. Remember to grab 3 of these granny squares and come on back to that next tutorial. And again, if you're just watching to learn how to do this tutorial, thank you. I definitely appreciate that thumbs up, the subscribe button. I definitely hope you are enjoying this video. It's definitely a pleasure to make it. All right. Let me zoom out. Do you want me to zoom out a little? I'll zoom out just a tad bit so you guys can see me. And I'm just inserting, yarning over, pulling through, inserting, yarning over, and pulling through. Guys, that's all I'm doing around here. That's all. Just continue going around. Now that we're at our corner, we'll do 3 again. All right, we'll do 3. Okay, so I'm gonna just continue going around, guys. And when I get back, guys, we'll see exactly what it looks like, and we'll finish this baby off.
PS Dollars.
Hey guys, I'm back and this is what we have. We have our finished square, guys. I'm going to zoom out. We have our finished square, guys, and I hope you have yours. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and snip my ends, get that baby all weaved in so we can get ready for the next part of this tutorial, guys. Again, like I said, if you're just using it for your basic square, your basic full square, I'm so glad that you enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave me any comments down below. If you need any help or anything, feel free to send me an email. You are truly welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and snip my ends and weave in, share with you. I always like to share with you how I weave in my ends on my videos, guys. And I'm just going to grab my yarn needle and kind of weave in and out of my stitches, kind of hiding them. All I'm doing is doing a basic hide. All right. That's all I'm doing is a basic hide. All right, just like so. In and out. And now that's all you have to do, guys. You can kind of go back and forth with it. You choose what you would like to do, okay? It's not really a hard ordeal. You just kind of play with it and weave it in and out, kind of giving it a little hiding place. You want it to have like a little hiding place for your area, you know. And I am weaving it into the green only, just because I don't want it to really show up in my gray. Now, if I do weave it in my gray, it would have to be, you know, a little bit through one layer. It wouldn't be through both layers. So I'm just going to weave it through my green area because I don't want it to poke out and stick out in the gray. All right, guys, so I've kind of weaved it in back and forth and kind of pull it a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and snip. All right, so I'm going to snip that. And I have one more piece to weave in, which is going to be my very center where we started. So I'm going to weave that in, guys, and then we'll finish off our tutorial for today. And we'll be back again for the next tutorial. So I hope you guys catch it. Hope you enjoy it. It's definitely a blessing to be able to shoot tutorials for you guys. And a very true pleasure. I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, guys, I kind of go back and forth. You know, I don't know. You let me know, how do you guys weave yours in? This is my least favorite part. I don't know if you guys like doing the end weavings, but I've always been this has been my least favorite part of it. So guys, this is how we're gonna do it. All right, we're gonna just weave it in just like so. All right, look at that, loving it. So I'm loving it, guys. I'm definitely loving it. And I'm all done. I'm gonna stretch that baby out. Gonna snip my ends. And I am all set. We will be back again for the last part. So this is how you do your solid granny square, and we have a tutorial for our original granny square. So I hope you guys enjoyed these tutorials, and we'll be back again to put these babies together and create a project. So I thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best, and until next time, love ya.